Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Ruiz here. I hope you had a fantastic Easter weekend. We did over here. We had an Easter hunt. The kids found lots of eggs. Some of the eggs had yummy treats in them, and then other eggs had nice notes in them. Some said, "Thank you, Jesus." Some said, "He has risen," because remember, Jesus was crucified and he rose on the third day. He came back to life. So it was a great time for us, and I hope you had a great time as well. So Gianmarco sent us some pictures of his Easter activities. It looks like he made some bunny cookies. They look so yummy. You know Mrs. Ruiz loves cookies. We also had a lot of friends do our balancing homework assignment. Our friend Maria balanced her stuffed animal Shelly on her head, and she wrote a sentence. It said, "I balanced my stuffed animal Shelly for 7 seconds. Wow, great job, Maria. Our friend Mary also balanced 7 headbands on her head, and our friend Eva balanced a book on her head and took 26 steps. So great job, friends. And one more thing, my son Yvonne did our other hand measuring assignment. He really wanted me to share with you what he did. So he wrote, "The cheese mat is 7 Yvonne hands tall." So I don't know if you have one of these, but it's kind of a cheese mat, and it looks kind of like a triangle, and sometimes people use it when they're in gymnastics to help them do rolls or other kind of gymnastics moves. So that's what he measured with his hand. All right, so today we are going to sing 5 Green and Speckled Frogs. So get your hands ready, and make sure you should always be singing with me when we sing these songs, because I know you know them. Ready? 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green speckled frogs. 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 3 green speckled frogs. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 2 green speckled frogs. 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there is 1 green speckled frog. 1 green and speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. He jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 0 green speckled frogs. Now there are no green speckled frogs. All right, friends, today we're going to read a book that I'm sure all of you have heard. And the book is The 3 Little Pigs. Now, I decided to read this book because I have a special activity for us afterward. And I know a lot of you may have some form of this book. So don't worry if the words are a little different than yours. That's okay. And I encourage you to read this at home if you have it. All right, The 3 Little Pigs. The 3 Little Pigs, retold by Kath Jewett, illustrated by May Matsuka. So it says retold rather than saying they're the author, because this story is has been around for a long time, and a lot of people rewrite it. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who lived in a cozy cottage on the hill. They loved to eat all the delicious food their mother made them every day. They ate so much that it wasn't long before the three little pigs had grown so big there was no room for them in the cozy cottage anymore. "I'm sorry," said their mother, "but it's time you made your own way in the world." So, the very next day, the three little pigs left home. "Don't forget to watch out for the big bad wolf," called their mother as she waved goodbye. "He'll eat you for supper, so you'll need to build a big, fine, strong house as quickly as you can to keep him away." "Don't worry, Ma," they oined. "We can look after ourselves." And the three little pigs trotted off down the hill, each taking a different path. Do you know what trotted means? Trotted means to kind of walk quickly or jog. It wasn't long before the first little pig met a farmer pulling a cart filled with straw. "Please, may I buy some straw to build a house?" asked the little pig. "Of course," replied the farmer, "but a straw house won't be very strong." But the little pig didn't listen. Soon he was busy stacking the bundles of straw for his new house. In no time at all, the house of straw was finished, and the little pig went inside for a nap. He had just shut his eyes when there was a knock at the door. Who do you think it is? It was the big bad wolf, and he was hungry. Little pig, let me in," growled the big bad wolf. "No," cried the little pig, "not by the hair on my chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," laughed the wolf. And that's just what he did. He huffed and he puffed and whoosh! Meanwhile, the second little pig was walking along the road when he saw a woodcutter piling up sticks. "Please, may I buy some sticks?" he asked politely. "I want to build a house." "Of course," answered the woodcutter, "but a house made of sticks will soon fall down." But the second little pig wasn't listening. He was much too busy planing his new stick home. Uh-oh, the second pig didn't listen either. Soon the house was finished. The little pig had just sat down to rest when there was a knock at the door. It was the big bad wolf. He was even hungrier now. Little pig, let me in," he growled. "No way! Not by the hair on my chin," cried the second little pig. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," cried the wolf. And that's exactly what he did. He huffed and he puffed and whoosh! Look at how far he blew away that stick house. Meanwhile, the third little pig had met a builder. "Please, may I buy some of your bricks to build my house?" he asked. "Of course," replied the builder. "A fine, strong house of bricks will last forever." The third little pig took the builder's advice. He would build the strongest house in the land. Finally, after a hard day's work, the house was finished. It had 4 strong walls of brick, a tiled roof, a sturdy wooden door, and a large fireplace with a chimney. Do you know what the word sturdy means? That's this word here. Sturdy means really strong, that it was built very strong. The third little pig had just put a pot of turnips on the fire to boil when he saw his brothers running down the road, closely followed by the big bad wolf. "Quick!" cried the third little pig. "Hide in here!" The wolf, who was very hungry by now, banged on the sturdy front door. Little pigs, let me in, he growled, his tummy rumbling very loudly with hunger. No way! Not by the hairs on our chins, cried the little pigs. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, laughed the wolf. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed. But the brick house stood firm. The wolf was furious. He climbed up onto the roof and shouted down the chimney. If I can't blow your house down, I'll come down the chimney and gobble you all up. The big bad wolf jumped and landed with a huge splash in the pot of turnips boiling on the fire below. Yow! He leaped up with a scream and ran out of the house, never to be seen again. And the 3 little pigs lived happily ever after in the house made of bricks. The end. What do you think of that book? Like I said, many of you have probably heard this book before. Now I have an activity for you. So I want you to make a house out of paper. I made one just by folding it halfway, and then I folded the ends in a little bit. You can fold your paper however you want it. You can make your house however you want it. I have a table here to help me. And then you're first going to look at it. You're going to inspect it. And remember last week when we were measuring things with our hands? That's a non-standard way to measure things. But now what I want you to do is measure with a ruler. Now this is a yardstick, but this is, so it's a very big ruler. And it has inches on one side, you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Each time there is a line next to a number represents 1 inch. So what I'm going to do, and what I want you to do as well, is to measure your house first. So I'm going to measure my house. Let me get this nice and close so you can see. And how you measure it is you put it on a flat surface. Then you look at your ruler. You look at the top of your house and see what number is it nearest to. Now this one, it's kind of flopping down a little bit, but it's nearest that number 4, you see? So my house is about 4 inches tall. Now the next thing I'm going to do is make a prediction. What I want you to do is blow on your house. And I want you to predict, will my house blow down? Will my house blow away? And then once you have your prediction, then you test it out. So I'm thinking, since this is paper, my house is going to blow away. Are you ready? Let's test it out together. My house most definitely blew down. It fell to the ground and it unraveled. So I want you to do the same thing. That's going to be your assignment for today. Make a house out of paper. It doesn't have to be like mine. It can be a different shape or folded any way that you want. Then I want you to measure it with a ruler. And then I want you to predict if it's going to blow down or if it doesn't blow down. And then test it out. And if you really want to, if you want to do the next step, you can do this as well. Is I drew a picture of my house. And then I said, my paper house blew away. So draw a picture and write a sentence about it as well. All right, friends, that is all I have for you today. Kiss, hug, and a high five. See you soon. Bye.